everyone. Welcome on this wonderful Tuesday. It's Felicia Dorch, your host of Relationship Entertainment TV. Thank you so much for tuning in for the news you can use and the ish you don't want to miss. So let's get straight to it. Today I was reviewing the news, and the hot topic today is, if you guessed it, of course, it's COVID. So here in Texas, our numbers are steadily rising. We're still in a severe or red category. As much as the other states as well, same thing, same scenario, hadn't changed. One thing I did notice is we are able to accommodate in the hospital, so that's a great thing. We're still utilizing the children's hospital for adults as well, because of our numbers are being so high. So the reason why I brought that up, because I'm pretty sure everybody is really tired of hearing about COVID. But my reason for bringing that up is we're coming upon the fall, and everyone knows what happens when it starts to get a little cooler outside. We have, yep, you guessed it, flu season. So not only do we have to worry about COVID, which has primarily been attacking the respiratory system, which is the way we breathe, now we have to add in flu. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. There are so many mixed reviews on getting the flu shot. They're also trying to come up with a COVID-19 shot to try to help us, be able to function and live our life normally and just take a shot like we would do anything else, an immunization, like many of us done when we were younger. So this is not to sway your decision one way or the other. I do understand there's some controversy about taking the flu shot, just as well as some controversy about receiving the COVID-19 shot when there's one available. Some people are saying that they've had experiences with other immunizations where they've had side effects or it didn't work. They still got whatever disease they were trying to protect themselves from. Or they say, well, I don't believe in that. I don't believe it works, so I'm not going to take it. We also have a group of people that don't take it for reasons as to believe that some immunizations cause things like autism. So there are so many studies out there about that. So again, I'm not trying to convince you to do anything. You do what's best for your family, whether it be immunization, continuing to wear a mask, or what have you. But I'm only giving you information that could possibly help whoever else may need this information and may help you to make a educated decision or a choice for your family. So of course, I always bring myself as an example, because what I do enjoy about the news is, and helping you understand the news, is to use real life experiences. All of my children have had their immunizations from birth until the oldest one is 25. I still push her to get her flu shot. But I'm going to be honest and transparent with you, as I do all the time. At first, I didn't believe in the flu shot. I didn't grow up taking the flu shot. I don't remember being a very sickly child. I know I've always had issues with my ears, so I would get a lot of ear infections and throat infections, but I don't really remember getting the flu that often, or at least I wasn't aware. As a child, maybe I had the flu and just don't remember, or my mom didn't tell me. But when I got older and went to nursing school, that was one of the hottest topics during class, was the flu shot. Well, in nursing school, you have to go back and get certain immunizations, a booster. For an example, like Hep B, or every year you have to go get a TB skin test, which is tuberculosis skin test, to, make sure that you hadn't been exposed, because as you know, as a nurse, we're exposed to so many people. Many times, I've had patients, and I found out 2 days later what they're in there for after we ran all the tests. And I have had patients that have tested positive for tuberculosis or a history of, and I would have to immediately go get a TB skin test to make sure that, I'm okay and safe to be around my family and other patients. So when the topic of the flu shot came up, I'm a big debater. I'm going to debate, especially if I have the knowledge of it. The best thing to do is to know what you don't know. And if you don't know, research. So I told my professor that I didn't want to take the flu shot. Well, this was standing in between me taking clinicals and not taking clinicals. So to help you understand that, when you go to school to be a nurse, you do the book work or class work, and then you have to go to the hospital and work so many shifts learning that nursing skill. So if I don't get all of my immunizations, I can't do that part. So basically, I would have had to just leave nursing school. So I had to really understand what I was getting myself into. And so my professor said, okay, I'm not going to just eliminate you from the clinical. I want you to go home and do some research about the flu shot, and you'll understand why we want you to take it. Now, I did understand why we had to do the hepatitis B booster, the hepatitis C, all of the other ones to boost our antibodies up to protect us while we're in the hospital with the patients. But the flu shot, I just didn't. My family was like, no, we don't take the flu shot. We're not taking it. Don't believe in it. And you know that story. I took the flu shot one time and I got sick. So that was in my head. Hearing my family members say that, especially my mom. So I did exactly what the professor said, because now I'm tasked with either I better take this shot or I'm going to have to drop out of nursing school because I have to do the clinicals. You can't do the clinicals without having a shot. And I didn't want to just take the shot and take a chance on getting sick, because that's what people kept telling me was going to happen. Moving along, I did my research and I found out that it isn't any different than building up antibodies in your body as it would be for any other immunization. So let me differentiate between the two. The live virus is the one that they do through the nose, which honestly, I don't believe they even offer that anymore. It's a live attenuated virus, meaning it's weakened. So they put it up your nose, it goes in your system, and you build up antibodies. You may feel a little sick a couple of days, but you shouldn't feel like having the full-blown flu. Then with the shot, it's the same thing. It's a weakened virus. They introduce it to your body so you can build up antibodies to fight it. Now your body, which is such a well-oiled machine, will create these antibodies to fight that if you were come in contact with someone with the flu. So once I realized that, I was like, okay, it's pretty much no different than me taking the hepatitis B booster. It's the same concept. So I took the shot. And then I started educating other people about it. And I love it when people say, oh, I got sick from it. Well, if you do your research, there are so many different strands of the flu. So the flu shot, they try their best to predict the strand or the most common strands, and that's the ones you receive in your flu shot. So it helps you to protect you from that. And again, it's all transparency. Every single year I get the flu shot. Every single year my children get the flu shot. Well, my son actually got the flu last year. But wouldn't you guess, it was a totally different strand that wasn't covered in the flu shot. So now you're saying, okay, Felicia, what's the point of me doing all of that when you just said your son got the flu? He did. However, it was not as bad. He ended up having an ear infection, strep throat, and the flu all at the same time. And honestly, the thing that made him feel the worst was the strep throat. It wasn't the flu. So my point is, even though he has antibodies built up against the flu, and then this was a different strand, it didn't affect him as bad as it could have been. So you have to keep in mind that we've lost people to death from the flu, especially our elderly people. So now you're probably asking, how on earth does this tie in to COVID? Well, let's think about it. COVID is airborne. They have been going between airborne and droplet precautions since February. So to give you an idea, because both of them are still bad, airborne means it lives in the air. You go around, you're breathing, you breathe it right in. Droplet precautions mean someone could sneeze and the moisture, the droplets, the spit basically, goes into the air and then you inhale it up your nose. That's why it's so important for you to wear your mask where it's covering your nose and not just your mouth. That drives me insane when I see people with their mask under their nose. You still leaving an opportunity to get it sucked through your system. So you have COVID, which they've confirmed or decided this month is airborne. Whether airborne or droplet is still a problem. And then you have the flu. The flu is droplet and airborne as well. So you have a double whammy going on. If your body is weakened because you've caught the flu, and then you decided to go out and be around someone who has COVID, now you have given yourself even more work. Your body is already weakened. Your immune system is already weakened. So now you're basically just making it worse for yourself. You are causing your body to fight even harder. One of my family members, actually several of my family members, was positive for COVID. And the things that they shared for me was they had difficulty breathing. They felt like their heart was pounding out of their chest. One of them, blood pressure was extremely high, and she does not have problems with blood pressure. She's not on any type of pills. Okay, she's very healthy. And this took her down. Like, she was weak for several days. Now let's top that with the flu as well, which the flu gives you body aches. It gives you temperature problems. Some people, it affects their blood pressure. Some people, it affects them breathing, especially patients or people that have asthma history. You know, that's even more work added to your body. So this is why I'm explaining to you that it's very important that you do your research, determine if the flu shot is right for you, which I would encourage anybody to do it, because you want to give your body something to fight. You want to help your body fight, as well as continuing to take your vitamins and your vitamin C and wear your mask appropriately. You know, if you are one of those essential workers that have to be out around people, you really need to protect yourself at all costs. You know, wear your gloves when you're touching things, making sure you're washing your hands often, and try to remember to not touch your face. You know, you're out and about, you touch things, and then you go to rub your nose. You know, you have to be careful of those things. Even when you're at home, wipe down all your surfaces. And this is for the flu and coronavirus. You know, every day you should come home, if you have to leave the house and come back in, and wipe your knobs down on your doors, wipe your phone down, wipe your car down. Because if you're not going to take the flu shot, you have to basically create barriers and protections everywhere you go. If you're an essential worker that work in an office building, take Clorox wipes, or the company should be providing these things for you anyway, and you need to wipe down all surfaces before you get started. Wash your hands when you walk into the office. You know, so just continue to add lines of defense, and hopefully this will help you. I really hope that this information was helpful to you. And just remember, you know, I am not trying to push you to do anything. You do what's best for your family. I just would like for you to understand that there are so many things going on right now, and now we're adding the flu season to it as well. So again, thank you for tuning in on this wonderful Tuesday with the news you can use and the ish you don't want to miss. I'm your host, Felicia Dorch, with Relationship Entertainment TV. I will see you on Thursday.